How are you?
Very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm very well, thank you.
Welcome to Kruger National Park.
Thank you very much. I'm driving in the northern parts of the Kruger National Park, and my story is about a tree, an endangered tree. It's listed as threatened. As a matter of fact, it is so threatened due to poaching that they've now brought ex-game rangers back from retirement to come and help guard the tree 7 days a week. But that's not what my story is about. My story is about a new experiment they're about to conduct, and that is to bring in a sniffer dog in the hope that this dog will be able to help us find even more colonies of this very, very special tree, Walburgia salutaris, or as the common name goes, the pepperbark tree. Early morning on day one. First, the rangers receive more new bicycles sponsored by SAPI to help them on their daily pepperbark patrols. And then we're off. The trees are in a remote part of the park, off the beaten track, and we have to go on foot from here on. Meet Faust, the star of the day. He used to sniff out cheetah scat for a living, but Rox has been retraining him to try and point out pepperbarks. But that was done with saplings in old days, and this is his first visit to the park and also to the real McCoy. First, the rangers who guard these trees from the poachers will take us to a known group of trees, so that we can see if Faust can indeed find them amidst all the new smells and the excitement of being in a strange wilderness. It is quite a long walk before the rangers signal that we have indeed reached pepperbark territory.
Is it this one? Is this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Faust can't speak and is so excited, it is hard to tell if he realizes why we are all staring at him and at this inconspicuous little tree.
Now we've been working with very few samples. So at the moment, what I want to do is just make sure that he knows exactly what it is that we're looking for. He works for the ball, not for love of trees or anything like that. He finds ways to get the ball.
Okay, well, let's see if we can find them. There's two down there. Do you think if we walk down there you can find them?
Well, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Which direction am I headed?
Michelle Hofmeyer runs the Skukuza nursery and is also the Warburgia project leader. And with a little help from his friend, Faust does find a smallish Warburgia. Well, sort of. We think. By late morning, Faust is overheating, and it is time for him to retire for the day. But Rox seems happy with the way things have gone.
No, it went well. It was pretty much as we expected. That we've been training on samples in bags and in quite a different environment, where in a much drier environment, so they stand out a lot more. And where the trees are much bigger, we had little saplings, so we expected there to be a bit of a jump between these small trees in an environment where they stand out, and then suddenly big trees which are generating a lot more scent, and the scent is much more diffuse from the big trees, particularly as it gets hotter. The scent spreads and spreads and spreads, so it actually it's almost like a cloud of scent, so the dog can't pinpoint it as well as they can early in the morning, and it's a lot more scent. So the first day of training in the field was meant to be about showing him the bigger trees and showing exactly what it is, and actually encouraging or letting him know that that's what we're looking for as well, and that the bigger scent and the more scent is actually what we're looking for. And from what we've seen now with the amount of the scent that is around them, and the difficulty in pinpointing, we think that we probably need to actually train more directly onto the bark, rather than onto the leaves.
In the afternoon, while Faust is resting in the camp, we soldier on to one of the pepperbark communities that has been hit hardest by the poachers. These shiny leaves belong to the pepperbark tree. But now if you look at the bark itself, you'll see that it's missing because this tree has been harvested by the poachers. And this is one of the more recent attacks. This happened in January 2014. And the reason why this clump of pepperbarks over here have been targeted by the harvesters is actually quite simple. If I look just on the other side of this hill from where I'm standing, I can see where the people are. Now keep in mind that they don't have these trees on their side anymore and they need them for medicine. So 1 + 1 unfortunately makes 2.
At the top, wherever you see nice clean lines on the bark, then it means it's been harvested.
Harvested, yeah.
And then it's grown back again. But it's really a very robust grower.
It is, isn't it?
Coppice. And even when the roots seem to come to the surface and they get scratched by a buffalo or whatever, then it will coppice again. They're
It's
really
amazing,
very,
isn't it?
very robust. And that's what actually saves them, because where the bark has been stripped off, then they just grow from the base, you see.
Yeah.
Day 2, and Faust has joined our ranks again. As we are walking, I can't help but wonder whether I'm the only one secretly wondering if today will be the day. After a long trek through the bushveld, we finally reach a clump of pepperbarks. But we don't tell Faust about it.
We're in a cloud of it, so there's trees behind you and trees here. And so there's a lot of the scent around, so it's hard for him to pinpoint exactly where it is. He knows, he's reacting and he knows it's here somewhere. But it's hard for him to pinpoint an exact scent because there's trees, yeah, all around. So there's uphill, downhill. So he knows he's in it, but it's hard for him to say, this is the tree.
And that is pretty much that. Before the next hike that afternoon, we learn from Rox that Faust hurt his paw and won't be joining us again for the remainder of the trip. But back at the camp, he does show us that at least he can find the little bagged saplings with which he was trained. For Rox, it means back to the drawing board.
It would need more field work. There's not much else we can do at home. It would need, I would want another couple of weeks in the field.
At least, if nothing else, Faust has pointed out the wisdom Sandparks and Sappy had in bringing retired rangers back and equipping them to look after the pepperbarks. Their knowledge of the veld has proven invaluable in finding previously unknown communities of pepperbarks, marking them and then safeguarding them from the pressures outside the park. It seems that if the dog is going to work, and that is a big if, it will definitely take a lot more time. And also, even though the project is doing well inside Kruger, they've located a lot more trees, the poaching has gone down since the guards are there, all of this will be useless unless in some way we can address the problem at its roots. That is, outside the park where the need exists for the bark of this tree. And the good news is that this is exactly what is happening. Sandparks, Sappy, the Botanical Garden in Mbombela, and the Agricultural Research Institute have all joined forces to try and come up with a proactive plan for outside the park. But that is next time's story.